Now, Paulie Malignaggi fighting Amir Khan is just that. Paulie want to prove Amir Khan is just that, Khan. And they trying to bring him over here to this country and fight him in his hometown to try to make a point. And Freddie Roach is gonna train him, and they're gonna talking about the Manny Pacquiao situation and the steroids, and they're gonna use Amir Khan as that and have him fight him. So it presented a lot of problems for everybody when he started backing up Mayweather's accusations. So this is a good fight. They don't really need to promote it as much as or heavy as they think they do, because a lot of people heard know who Paula Malignaggi is, but the money for this is a problem. Amir Khan is costing them a lot of money, so they're gonna probably re-up a lot more with him. He gets paid $1 million for every television appearance that he makes on HBO or anything. They gotta get $1 million. It's in his contract. So Golden Boy has to pay him $1 million, and it's not even $1 million in this fight. So they're gonna try to do what they can to recoup the money. So Paulie could be in for a big screw job, buddy. Huge. So I hope he's ready for it. I'm pulling for you, but hey, I don't know about this one. And Nate Campbell, my man Nate, one of the greatest people and human beings you ever gonna meet. He's probably everybody's godfather to their kids. But Nate has ran into a brick wall when he goes up against Victor Ortiz. They got everybody at that weight class. I mean, the 140 is stacked. I mean, you're not gonna get any deeper than that. You got Bradley, Alexander, you got Ricky Hatton, who's third, who's on his way out. Then Madania, Amir Khan, Paulie Malignaggi, and that's just the top list there. Now, if he beat Victor Ortiz, then he can move ahead of Vic. But if he beats Victor Ortiz, Victor is pretty much done. But I can't see that happening because this whole thing is being set up. When I told you guys in boxing, fights are set up months and months down the line. That's exactly what I mean. Amir Khan, Victor Ortiz match is set up. They just gotta have these fights in between to build their money up and see who's gonna be the guy to lead them to the next package. I already know who they want that person to be. I already know this fight was set up a long time ago. Devin Alexander's gonna come along and ruin a lot of plans. But he's gonna make it great because he's gonna have an opposition, an opponent that's just as popular as the other fighter, which will be Victor Ortiz. You're gonna understand it once it all unfolds. Then you'll see how it works and go, oh wow, okay, this is nice. We're having good fights. But enjoy the fights along on the way because it's gonna be a good fight. But Victor Ortiz cannot pull straight back. If he keep pulling straight back, he's gonna end up knocked out. Well, as far as the Super Six is, what's going on with the Super Six? The Super Six is going like this. It's losing its luster. I was just gonna report, but they now just put up the information on it so everybody can see it about Andre Ward's condition. And I was saying it in previous interviews and previous everything else. Andre Ward was supposed to take these reins years ago, but he's injury prone. And I don't know how it's going to affect his career, but if you have chronic injuries like this, pretty much you're not going to make it in this sport to be at the top of the ring. He's going to be like Vernon Forrest. He's going to burn himself out. It's a sad thing, but injuries happen and occur in this sport more than people would know. A lot of fighters fight with problems all the time. Now, the addition of Alan Green does throw another mix in it because Alan Green's been trying to fight Andre Ward for the longest period of time, but there's been a lot of money invested in Andre Ward. And Green, a lot of fighters who didn't get that certain push and didn't get the gold medals and things like that. These guys want to prove that he's a fraud and try to expose him. And he believes that they're just trying to come up with excuses to keep him away from him. But from what I hear, that his knee injury is legit, and it's going to take him about 4 or 5 weeks to get his knee back in shape. And I don't even know if that's still enough time for him to do that and then train to fight Alan Green. But the rest of the tournament, you look at all the fights right now, and it's like losing its luster because there's so many discontinuance. Darrell got to postpone because of a back injury, and it's turning out to be too long of a tournament. This tournament's not going to be over for 2 years. It's too long. They should have shortened it, and that's why HBO is trying to do what they're doing now with this 140-pound tournament and just make it 4 fighters. But one thing I do know is they're going to make it interesting for the rest of the year, and then 2010 should be really good because you got a lot of guys from 160 might try to go up to 68, and that's it. Oh wow, Ricky Hatton has been talking retirement with his family. By the time this video come out, he should be already retired. Everybody wants him retired now. He's supposed to fight Juan Manuel Marquez in May, but once that got pushed back and they put Mayweather Mosley in their spot, and they realized Ricky Hatton hadn't lost a dime of weight, and his weight is like 185, 187. He tried working out, and the weight isn't coming off as they expected, and his motivation, he hasn't looked good. His motoring reflexes are not the same anymore. He might be shot completely, and from what I've been told, he just needs to just hang it up and retire. So, Ricky Hatton, we loved you. You gave us some great, exciting fights, taking a lot of shots, giving a lot of shots. But once Mayweather beat you, he really just done you in. You had no justice, but you lost to the best fighter. So at least you got a chance to fight him, make a lot of money. Now you can manage and open up your own businesses. I heard you promoting your brother and probably get some other England fighters out there to the rest of the world. And the UK fighters out there. It's a lot of good ones, and they work hard. And they just want to get seen and get to the spotlight. Boxing's a very big thing over there. And there'll be another. Ricky couldn't do it, but he got to the door. Somebody will come and knock it over. Joe Calzaghe is the only one to really retire fighting everybody. But I'm talking about one in the Mayweather's weight class at 47. There'll be another. And with Kelly Pavlik, this is the biggest turnaround for him with Sergio Martinez. He's fighting the actual winner of the fight, because Paul Williams had no business winning that fight. But now Kelly Pavlik is fighting for pretty much short money, and he's the biggest thing HBO has. They have to keep him on HBO rather than pay-per-view because they make more money off Kelly Pavlik when he fights on Showtime, HBO World Championship Boxing. They just bought Timothy Bradley over to HBO to try to get this big fight with Alexander. But that's another thing I'll bring up later. But HBO is trying to recoup this money that they're making right now. These are their bread and butter fights. These are the fights that they want to make their money on and keep it on their championship level as far as World Championship Boxing on their little networks, that or Boxing After Dark. Those are the two shows they want to try to get the ratings up for. So, with that being said, Kelly Pavlik is at a crossroads because he wants Paul Williams, and Paul Williams wants to fight him. But since the fight didn't happen because of Kelly Pavlik's whatever injury he had, I forgot what it was called. He had a staph infection, and by him having the staph infection, they had to cancel the fight. That's a known thing that happens in boxing. It's very rarely in boxing. It's mostly in NFL, basketball, because people using the same towels and everything else. People get infected real quick. But with him, I don't know how it happened that fast, and I know the injury's there, but I just don't think he was 100%, even though it was gone, and he wouldn't have been in shape enough for Paul Williams. So they delayed the fight. And missed rumors that the ticket sales were poor too. So, with that being said, we're going to continue this at another time, and we'll talk more about other videos later on. But other than that, I'm out.